Hi there, I am Jenny with Roots and Wings Furniture. Today I have a tutorial for you, which I like to call glitter for grown-ups. And it's actually using General Finishes Pearl Effects. It gives an overall glittery, shimmery pearl effect to a piece of furniture. It's easy to apply, but there's a couple of tricks to it to get a nice smooth finish that I want to show you. And we're really going to take this dresser from blah, and I'm talking real blah, I'll put a before picture up on the blog post, to something that is glam, feminine, really pretty. So let's get started. First of all, this dresser has 2 coats of General Finishes milk paint in Seagull Gray, so it's a really light, pretty gray, which you can see here. And on this particular dresser, the hardware would not come off. I could not for the life of me get the hardware off. So this has the painted hardware. I don't usually do that, but in this case, this hardware just really wanted to be gray like the rest of it. So we're just gonna go with it here. So like I say, 2 coats of milk paint, and it's completely dry. And then we are gonna get started. We're gonna put Pearl Effects on top, and this is what it looks like when you open the can. You can see it's real milky, but when it dries, it has a nice shimmer to it. So the trick that I have found that works best is to water it down. I say water it down, thin it out a little bit with some high performance poly. That's gonna allow it to go on smoother. It's gonna give you a little bit more workability, and it's also going to, well, you're really using it as a top coat, so it's gonna protect your paint and give it a little bit more durable finish. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, I just have a clean glass jar here, so you can see we're going to pour in some Pearl Effects at the bottom. So there it is, and then not quite half and half, but I'm going to pour in a little bit of high performance poly, and this is in flat finish, and then just give it a good mix. So you can see it's really runny, and it's got a white milky finish. It's actually a little bit hard to tell that it's even shimmery, but when it dries it really will be. So let's move these out of the way. I'm going to use my Purdy brush. And I'm going to just start on this drawer here so you can see what I'm doing. Really, I'm just going to apply it like a top coat. The only real trick to this is to get a smooth finish is make sure you're using long, even strokes across the whole thing, just like you would with paint, except this matters a little bit more because if you don't, you will be able to see it once it dries. So we're going to go ahead and start applying here. And the same rule also applies once you put it on. You get your coat on there, and you just leave it alone. We don't move it around too much once you're happy with it. And you know what? I'm going to do the shimmer effect on our handles too. Why not? I'm going to go ahead and do the entire drawer front. See that little bit of sparkle there? So I'm going to continue on here working on the top in this next drawer so you can see how I apply it. So that's the first coat there. We're going to let that dry. Give it an hour or 2 to dry, not too long. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply a second coat so we can really see the shine and the shimmer to it. But it's completely up to you. You can just do 1 coat, 2, however you like to do it. There's also other ways to apply it. You can mix it in with your paint. You can do some pouncing or some dry brushing if you just want a real subtle effect. This is my favorite way to do it that I've tried so far, but like I said, there's lots of other ways. So you can just play around with this product, get comfortable with it. It's quite fun. There's also several different colors. The color I'm using is champagne, so it's a real neutral color, but they have some bronzes, some coppers that would really show up a little bit more. So there's endless combinations, and it's a real fun thing. So we're just gonna let this dry and we'll come back and I'll show you the second coat. All right, we're gonna do the second coat just like we did the first. Okay, I wanted to zoom in here on this side and see if I can show you the sparkle a little better. I feel like it's not showing up quite well enough in the camera so you can see what I'm doing here. So it's just really this beautiful pearlescent glitter effect here, which is going to be hard to capture on film and photography, but you gotta trust me, it's there. All right, the dresser is all dry. It has 2 coats of the metallic pearl effects on there. It looks really nice. So the last thing I'm gonna do is just to give it a little more glam, I'm gonna do some rub and buff. This is pewter. I'm gonna go with the whole silver look here. So this is pewter, and I'm gonna apply this just with a Q-tip, and it's just gonna bring out some of the details of the piece, just right along the edges and along the hardware. So this is what I use to do this. This is a permanent wax, so once you apply it, it should stay. You can add a top coat over the top of it if you'd like, if it's something that is gonna get a lot of wear and tear. But since there is top coat mixed in with the pearl effects, I'm gonna be finished after I use the rub and buff. So we'll finish this up here, and I can't wait to show you the finished product. Never fails. I always make a mess of this when I'm using this stuff. So if that happens, if you get it in a spot you don't want it to be in, grab a little bit of mineral spirits, again just on a separate Q-tip, and then just clean it off, and it'll take it right off for you. I'm just a little messy sometimes.